So hello my viewers and also my students, welcome today. In this video it contains mathematics paper 1 KCSE 2022. It has both section 1 and section 2. So from question 1 all the way to question 24. I've explained in details, so purpose to watch, and also if you haven't subscribed, purpose to subscribe, supporting my channel. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to the end. Before I forget, I'm Michael Samuel teacher. You can find me on YouTube by that. So thank you so much. Let us start.
And this is the first question we have. So we can actually write it as what? This cross multiply, we get 6n squared will be equal to 25 times n minus 1. Also 6n squared will be equal to, in the bracket we have 25n minus 25. Rearrange them to form a quadratic equation. We have 6n squared minus 25n plus 25 is equal to 0. So it has formed actually a quadratic equation, and for this case we can use either factorization method or use quadratic formula, and also you can use completing square method. Whichever way you feel it's comfortable, you can deal with it. That is factorization method. And in our case, we have to write the equation. Already it is in this form, equation. So we need to get product AC. In our case, A is 6 and C is 25. So if you multiply 6 times 25, we get 150. Therefore, we need to get factors of 150, two values, such that when we add them, we get minus 25. So in our case here, two factors, this is the same as 10 times 50. But negative. Remember, negative times a negative, we get positive 150. So minus 10 times minus 10, actually it will give us minus 25. So that's what we are going to use in the middle part. We write it in the expanded form. That will be 6n squared. So now we have minus 10 n minus 15 n plus 25 is equal to 0. So you can see the middle part we have expanded it. Now we take into pairs and we factor out what is common. So in our case here, 6 and 10, 2 is common, n squared and n is common. So 6n squared divided by 2n, we have 3n minus 10n divided by 2n, we get 5. Then the other part, 15 and 25, what is common? Actually 5 is common, so minus 5 is common. So we have minus 15n divided by minus 5, we get 3n. Then 25 divided by minus 5, we get minus 5, will be equal to 0. Therefore this can also be written as 2n minus 5 bracket multiplied by either of these, these are common, multiplied by 3n minus 5 equal to 0. So either AB is equal to 0, either A is 0 or B is 0. So either 2n minus 5 is equal to 0 or 3n minus 5 is equal to 0. Therefore this will be 2n equals to 5 and this will be 3n is equals to 5. Therefore n we get by dividing through by 2, so 5 over 2. The other one is 5 over 3. So this is the same as 2.5 or 2.5, and this is the same as 1 and 2 over 3. And that is the value of n using factorization method. And we look at the other question. So a family used 2/5 of its monthly income on school fees. 3/4 of the remaining amount was used on family upkeep, while the rest was invested. The family invested 13,500 shillings monthly. Calculate the amount of money the family used on school fees every month. Alright. In our case, we don't know actually the salary the family was earning. So we can say, let monthly salary be X shillings. Then amount spent on school fees. School fees, 2/5 of his monthly income on school fees, 2/5 of X on monthly income. Then 3/4 of the remaining amount was used on family upkeep. So remaining amount was X minus 2 over 5X, which is 3 over 5X. So whatever was used in family upkeep was 3/4 of the remaining. So 3/4 of the remaining, which is 3 over 5X. So we shall get, that is 9 over 20X. That's what was used in family upkeep. So invested amount, and the rest was invested. So we want to see how much was invested. So it will be X minus what was used on school fees, 2 over 5X, plus 9 over 20X. So this we shall get as X equal to, this will be the same as 17 over 20X, and that is, we will subtract, we get 3 over 20 of X. That's what was invested. But we have been told that the family invested 13,500 monthly. So this is equivalent to the invested amount, and that is 3 over 20X will be equivalent to 13,500. So X will be 13,500 times 20 divided by 0. So X is actually 90,000 shillings. So that is the salary the family was getting a month. The question, have we answered the question? Calculate the amount of money family used on school fees. On school fees, the family used what? 2/5 of X. So that is 2 over 5 times X is 90,000. So the family used, if you multiply, you get 36,000. So that's what the family used on school fees. Alright. We move on to the next. Question 3, solve for X in the equation. So the first thing we need to remember about powers and indices, which is very, very important. So here we have, so this can also be written as 5 raised to 2x minus 1 minus 25 is the same as 5 squared times x. So 5 raised to 2x will be equal to 500. So 5. This can also be written as 5. Considering the laws of indices, this would be the same as 5 raised to 2x, we have minus, so over 5 raised to 1 can also be written like that. Minus 5 raised to 2x is equals to 500. Fine. So from here we can say let 5 raised to 2x be a value a. Then from here I have substitute where we have 5 raised to 2x with a. So that will be a over 5 minus a is equal to 500. Multiply through by 5. Then I shall have a minus 5a is equal to 2500. This will be minus 4a is equal to 25. Alright. So from here, a will be what? Minus 625. But let us see here. This is 5 raised to 2x is equal to, this is equal to minus 625, which is the same as minus 5 raised to that. Now, whatever we need to understand here for us to get x, whether it will be possible, consider this sign here. Then if we introduce logarithm sign, we say we introduce log to both sides, we shall have 2x log 5 is equal to 2 minus 2 log of minus 5, but we don't have logarithm of minus 5. So x has a complex value or a complex number, or we say it is indeterminate. So Kipkoech and Tanui began a 5,000 meter race together at the starting line. Kipkoech and Tanui took 72 seconds and 80 seconds respectively to run a 400 meter lap. The two athletes were together again at the starting line after some time. Determine the number of laps that Tanui had to run to complete the race after they were together. Fine. So we have Kipkoech and Tanui. So this is the race that they should go. So, and for one lap it has 400 meter race. So total number of laps that they have to cover will be the total distance be covered by each, and also we divided for one lap is 400 meter. So here we shall end up getting that will be 12.5 laps. So this is the total laps they have to actually take after they cover 5,000 meter race. Now, after some time, they meet somewhere. So we actually need to find the LCM of 72 and 80. So 72 and 80. So 72 can be written as 2 raised to 3 times 3 squared, and 80 can be written as 2 raised to 4 times 5. So for us to get the LCM, take the number with the highest power, the common number with the highest power. So 2, 2. So we are going to take the highest power, and also we take 3, 2 and 5. So LCM in our case here will be 2 raised to 4 times 3 raised to 2 times 5. So if you work it out, we shall get, this is 16 times 9 times 5. So this will be 720 seconds. So after 720 seconds, that is when they met. Now, number of laps made by Tanui, determine the number of laps that Tanui had to run to complete the race after they were together. So, number of laps made by Tanui, it is 720 divided by 80. So, this is
9 laps.
So for the remaining laps, because you need to determine the number of time you have to run to complete the race after they were together. So after 720 seconds, that is when they were together, and Tanui had covered 9 laps. So the remaining laps will be the total number of laps, 12.5 minus 9. So this will be 3.5 laps. So Tanui has to cover 3.5 remaining laps. Then question number 5, simplify. So we simplify. So in our case here, this will be the same as 18ax minus, so if we expand this, let me just expand, this shall be 9a squared, then plus 12ax, then minus 4x times 3a minus 12ax, then minus 4x times 4x, that will be minus 16x squared, all over 3a minus 8x. So from here, this will be, so 18ax, so already this has been eliminated, so we have minus 9a squared, then plus 16x squared, all over 3a minus 8a. Then from here, we can actually rearrange it in a way such that we have minus 9a squared, then plus 18ax plus 16x squared, all over 3a minus 8x. So we need to factorize this, but before that we need the numerator part 18ax, we write it in the expanded form. This is like a quadratic equation. So from this point, this can be the same as, so we need to find the product of minus 9 and 16, and for us that product will be minus 9 times 16 is actually the same as, so that is the same as minus 144. But 144 we can get factors such that when we add the two factors we get 18, and that will be minus 6 times 24. Those will be the factors. So this can be written as minus 9a squared, then minus 6ax plus 24ax plus 16x squared, all over 3a minus 8x. So from there, this now we factor it out. So we take this part into pairs. So take this in a pair, and also the other one in pairs. So this will be, so what is common here is minus 3a, factor out, minus 9a squared divided by minus 3a, we get 3a plus, this will be minus 6a squared divided by minus 3, we get plus 2x, close the bracket, plus the other part, 24, 16, what is common? 8 is common and x is common, so 8x. So minus 24ax divided by 8x, that will be 3a. Then 16x squared divided by 8x, we get plus 2x. Close the bracket. Then everything all over 3a minus 8x. Then from there, this will be the same as minus 3a plus 8x multiplied by 3a plus 2x all over 3a minus 8x. So from here, let us reconsider this, the denominator part, such that we can be able to rewrite them as this can be written as, actually we want it to be similar as the numerator part of it, because we have 3a and minus 8x. Here we have minus 3a plus 8x. So if I'm going to introduce a negative, this side negative, such that we factor it out, it will be minus 1, then here we shall have minus, that will be minus 3a, such that if I multiply it will become positive, and this will be plus 8x, such that if I multiply, I'll get minus 8x. So I haven't changed anything. So from there now, what is common is minus 3a plus 8x. Then so this will be common, so it shall be cancelled. Therefore, we have 3a plus 2x all over minus 1, which will be the same as minus 3a minus 2x. So that is it. Move to the next question. So question 6, in the quadrilateral ABCD, AD is equal to CD, which is also equal to 6 centimeter, and then BA is equal to BC, which is equal to 12 centimeter, and then angle ADC, that is the reflex angle, is 300. Then the question requires we calculate correct to 2 decimal places the area of the quadrilateral ABCD, and that is 4 marks. So in our case, we have this quadrilateral ABCD, but if I join AC, it will form a triangle ABC, and also we shall have triangle ADC. So for us to get to this part here, then we require to get the area of triangle ABC, and then we subtract area of triangle ADC. So now triangle ABC, we can see 2 sides are equal, and since this angle, reflex angle at this particular point D is 300 degrees, then the other angle will be 60, because angle at this point add up to 360 degrees, so this will be 60 degrees. Then if that is 60 degrees, then this base angle will be equal to, so 180 minus 60, that is 120. The base angle are equal, so 120 divided by 2 we get 60, and also here will be 60. Therefore, if that is the case, then this will be a quadrilateral triangle, So this side will be 6 centimeter. Therefore, we can get area of triangle ABC. In that case, we can use different option. Half base times height we require to get the height. But also we can use Euler's formula to get the area. So area of triangle ABC will be the same as using Euler's formula. So S, which is the perimeter of the triangle, that is I have the perimeter, then S minus A multiplied by S minus B multiplied by S minus C. So A, B, and C are the sides of the triangle. Therefore, S will be a half of the perimeter, which is 12 plus 12 plus 6, which will be the same as a half times 30, which is 15. Therefore, to get the area, that will be 15 multiplied by S is 15 minus 1 of the side is 12, again minus multiplied by 15 minus 3 means 12, and then multiply again by 15 minus the other side is 6. So this will be 15 square root of 15 times, this is 3 times 3 times, this will be 9. So this will be square root of 12, 15, which will be, using your calculator, you will get up, you get that 4.86 centimeter squared. Then area of triangle ADC, so in our case we shall use formula of AB sin theta. So I have times, so the sides are 6 and 6, 6 times 6, 10 times sine, the angle is 60 degrees. So this will be a half of 36, that is 18 sine 60, this will be 18 times sine 60 is 0.8660. Therefore, if you multiply, you get 15.59 centimeter squared. Therefore, to get the area of quadrilateral ABCD will be area of triangle ABC, which is 34.86, minus area of triangle ADC, which is 15.59. We end up getting 19.27 centimeter squared, and that is the area of the quadrilateral, correct to 2 decimal places. Question 7. A watch loses 8 seconds every hour. It was set to read the correct time at 11:00 hours on Sunday. Determine the time in 12-hour system. The watch will show on the following Thursday when the correct time is 05:00 hours. So, the watch loses 8 seconds every hour, and the time which was set was 11:00 hour on Sunday up to Thursday. So, shall have starting from Sunday, then Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, up to Thursday. So, and the time was 11:00 hour. Now, from Sunday to Monday, during that particular time, also during this particular time, so during this particular time, and then Thursday on, at 0500 hour. So from Sunday to Monday, that's a span of 24 hours. Then from Monday 1100 hours to Tuesday, a span of 24 hours. Then from Tuesday to Wednesday 1100 hours, that's a span of 24 hours. Then from 1100 hour to 0500 hours, so this will be the same as how many hours have a span. So this will actually be the same as, now convert this to 20, actually this is 4 hours. I had 24, that will be 20, actually 2900, subtract 11, so this will be 008, so 18 hours, span of 18 hours. So that will be 24 times 3 plus 18. So this will be 72 plus 18, that is 90 hours. So from Sunday 1100 hour to Thursday 0500 hour, that is 90 hours. But 1 hour, actually 8 seconds is lost. What about 90 hours? How many seconds will be have lost? That will be 90 times 8 divided by 1. So this will be 720 seconds will have been lost. So which is equivalent to 720 divided by 60. This is equivalent to 12 minutes. That simply means from Sunday to Thursday, 12 minutes have been lost. So what will be the correct time? When the correct time is 05. So what will the watch actually show? So for the watch, this will be 5. We subtract 12 minutes. So this is the same. This we borrow 1 hour here, so this will be 4. So now we have 60. 60 minus 12, that is 48, and then 4. So the watch will show the time will be 4:48, and it is AM. So that is in 12 hours 16. Now question 8. A lorry left town A for town B and maintained an average speed of 50 km per hour. A car left town A for town B 42 minutes later and maintained an average speed of 80 km per hour. At the time the car arrived in town B, the lorry had 25 km to cover to town B, determining the distance between town A and B. So in this situation, so we need just to indicate, and let me draw a sketch. So from town A all the way to town B. Now we have the lorry and also we have the car. So the lorry had left town A. So after 42 minutes, you need to know the distance covered by lorry. The distance covered by lorry after 42 minutes. So remember, distance is speed times time. So the speed of the lorry was 50 km per hour times hour. So the time 42/60 convert it to hour. So we shall end up getting 35 kilometers. So after 35 kilometers somewhere, so say that was 35 kilometers. Then after that 5 kilometers or after 42 minutes, that's when the car left town A or town B. So we have been given the speed of the car. So the other thing we need to say, let the distance A, B to be x. So we need to know the time taken by the car from A to B. So time is given as distance over speed, the speed of the, so that is hours. So that is the time taken by the car. The other information given is that at the time the car arrived in town B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. That means the lorry had not arrived to town B. So somewhere here. So let us say this is 25 kilometers remain. Now the lorry is at this particular point. So we don't know this distance the lorry had covered. But the distance this distance lorry covered, it took the same time as when the car left A, the lorry was at this point. By the time the lorry was here, the car had arrived at B. So the time taken by lorry will be equal to time taken by car to reach town B, and that is the same as x over 80 hours. So now the distance covered by lorry, so we need the distance covered by lorry to reach at this point, so it will be what? Distance covered by lorry when the car arrived town B to be 35 plus now the other distance that remains, so it is actually speed times time, and it will take x over 8. Then from here this will be 35 plus, so this is 5 over 8 x. That is the distance that the lorry covered. But whatever is remaining here, so from here, so actually this distance, all of this distance is the same as x minus 25. Therefore this will be equated to x minus 25, so that 5 plus 5 over 8x is equal to x minus 25. Collect the like terms together, so I have 35 plus 25 will be equal to x minus 5 over 8x. Therefore this is 60 is equal to 3 over 8x. So x will be 60 times 8 divided by 3. So this will end up being 160 kilometers. So distance between A and B is 160 kilometers. So part L is 120 km on a bearing of 30 degrees south of west from Port K. A ship left Port K at 10:00 hours and sailed at a speed of 40 km per hour along the bearing of 60 degrees south of east. Using scale drawing, determine the bearing of the ship from Port L at 14:00 hours. So in this case, we need to make a sketch so that we are able to use scale drawing to draw. So Port L is 120 km on a bearing of 30 degrees south of west. Now, if I consider this very important, this is north, south, then east, and then west. So it simply means that Port L from K, we take K as our origin, and then from there, that is 30 degrees southwest to L, and that is 120 kilometers. Then ship left turn K, that is Port K at 10:00 and sail at a speed of 40 km per hour along the bearing of, so south of east. Again from south, that will be an angle of 60 degrees. This is 30. Fine. Then all the way to a certain point at 14:00 hours. So from 10 to 14:00 hours, those are 4 hours. So the distance where the speed the ship was will be 40 times 4 hours, so which is 160 kilometer. That is the distance to where it is. So from that point is at 14:00 hours. So we needed to find by scale drawing the bearing of L of the ship from Port L. So we are going to use scale drawing, and for my case I'll use 1 centimeter to represent. So I have 160, and also the other one is 120, so 20 kilometers. So that from here I use 8 centimeter and the other one 6 centimeter. Fine, we can move on now. So I'll start with put it at that particular point. That will be fine for me. So that point, then draw, and also put it perpendicular so that I'm able also to draw this point here. That's okay. So from here, that is 40. Then I'll use a measure an angle of 30 degrees. So 30 degrees will it be? It certainly be there. So then let me remove it. Then I use a ruler. Right. Then a length of 6, can mark there. Then one will measure an angle of from south 60 degrees at that particular point. I put the mark. So now use the ruler. So from that particular point, we measure 6 centimeter to mark there. So it is 120 kilometers, and it is 160 kilometers. So from this is L. The line from here. We put 1400 hours and waiting at 1000 hours. And this is 30, the other angle is 60 degrees. So this is kilometers times. Now at this point I need to actually draw a perpendicular line at that particular point, and then we need to have and measure the angle. So from here you can be able to see the angle is actually 83 degrees. So that is the angle, 83 degrees. So this angle is 83 degrees. So you say the shape is, and actually from this point that is to the north and to the east. So the shape is north 83 degrees east, or can say it is 0.83 degrees. So that is the bearing of the shape from Port L. So question 10, the image of P, which is minus 25, under translation T is P prime, which is 2, 2, and the Q prime is 9 minus 5 is the image of Q under the same translation T. Determine the coordinates of Q. So in this situation, you have been given the image of P under translation T is P prime. Therefore, P is the object. So we have the object, then plus a translation whereby we get the image. Then we have the object, which is P. So we need to add the translation such that we shall get the image P prime. So for our case, we know P, so we can say let the translation T have the coordinates x, y. Therefore, point P, which is minus 2, 5, we write them in column vector, then plus t, translation t, which is xy, will give us the image, which is 2, 2. So we compare the corresponding terms. That will be minus 2 plus x will be equal to 2. Therefore x will be 2 plus 2, which is 4. And then for y, compare the y coordinates. So we have 5 plus y is equal to 2. Therefore y will be 2 minus 5, which is actually minus 3. Therefore t will be xy, and in our case x is 4 and y is minus 3. So because we need to get the coordinates of q, and here also we have been given q prime, that is the image of q, the same thing will happen. So we need to get coordinates of q. So q, which is the object, plus the translation vector will give us q prime. Therefore let q be what? We have to say that let q xy. Fine. Therefore in our case we shall have q is xy plus the translation vector, we know it, which is 4 minus 3 will be equal to the image of q, which is 9 minus 5. Compare the x coordinates. So we put them x plus 4 is equal to 9. So this implies that x is equal to 9 minus 4, which is 5. And also y plus minus 3 is equal to minus 5. This implies that y will be equal to minus 5. Then this will be plus 3, which we get minus 2. Therefore coordinates of q will be in this format. Xy will be q is 5 minus 2, and that is it. Question 11. A Kenyan bank bought and sold United Arab Emirates, that is UAE, dirhams on 2 different dates as shown below. So this is a table. We have is showing the dates and the currency, and then the buying and selling column, that is the exchange currency. Then a Kenyan tourist who traveled to UAE on 1st August 2021 converted 130,050 shillings, Kenyan shillings, to UAE dirhams. During her stay in UAE, she spent 3,520 UAE dirhams. She arrived back to Kenya on 16 August 2021. On the same day, she converted the remaining amount of money to Kenya shillings at the same bank. Calculate the amount of money in Kenyan shillings that she received from the bank. So in this situation here, remember we are converting a Kenyan currency either to foreign currency, which is the dirhams, or foreign currency to Kenyan currency. So the first thing I want you to note is about when converting from foreign currency to Kenyan currency, so we use the buying column rate. And then when converting from Kenyan currency to foreign currency, we use the selling column rate. So this is very important for this question. So on 1st of August, that is 1st August, so converted Kenyan shillings to UAE, that is from Kenyan currency to foreign currency, we use the selling column rate. So, and the exchange rate here, so this what, that is 1st of August, so we use this part. So that is 1 dirham is equivalent to how many Kenyan shillings? That is 28 shillings 90 cents. Therefore, and the tourist converted 130,050 shillings to dirham. How many dirham is it? So it is, we divide, and we shall get, that will be 4,500 dirhams. Then amount left, so, and we are being told during her stay in UAE she spent 3,520 dirhams. So amount left after spending will be the total amount, which is 4,500 dirhams minus the amount that the tourist spent, and this will be 980 dirhams. That was the amount remained. Then on 16 August, she arrived back to Kenya, and once in Kenya, the tourist cannot use the dirham currency. He has to convert back to Kenya. So from foreign to Kenyan currency, from foreign to Kenyan currency. Therefore, in this case, the bank will buy the foreign currency and we use the buying column rate. Therefore, that is from 16th of August. Now he has to convert from foreign to Kenyan currency, and therefore the bank will use the buying column rate. So 1 dirham, in that case it is equivalent to 28 shillings, Kenyan shillings. Therefore 980 dirhams will be equivalent to how many shillings? That will be 980 times 28 by 1, and this will give us 27,440. So that's the amount she received from the bank. Next, question 12. An electric post erected vertically is 20 meters from point P on the same level ground. The angle of elevation of the top T of the post from P is 30 degrees. Given that S is the midpoint of the post, calculate, correct to 1 decimal place, the angle of elevation of S from P. Now we have an electric post which is erected vertically. So let me draw this to represent the electric post, and then it is 20 meters from point P on the level ground, from P, which is 20 meters from a level ground. And something else given, the angle of elevation of the top T of the post from P is 30. So this is the top, and the angle of elevation, this is the angle of elevation, which is 30 degrees. And also given S is the midpoint of the post. Consider this the midpoint S of the post. Calculate correct to 1 decimal the angle of elevation of S from P. So we need to get this angle of elevation. Let me call it theta. Fine. So something which is also very important, I can say let me call this the bottom of the electric post, such that if S is the midpoint, let me say that TS is X, therefore also the other part will be X. The S is the midpoint, so it divides the two into equal ratio. So I'm going to apply Sokatoa, but in our case here I'm not interested with the hypotenuse, so I'm interested if we consider this angle, BP is the adjacent and this is the opposite. So I use tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tan theta, is equal to BT, that is tan 30 degrees, BT over, that is BP. So, but BP is 20. So from this case, I have tan theta, that is tan 30 degrees, BT, that will be the height I'm looking for. BP is 20. So BT is 20 tan 30 degrees, which is 11.55 centimeter. Also, to get theta, need now to get X. So for my case, BT is equal to 2X, therefore, which is 11.55 equals to 2X, therefore X is equal to 5.775. Therefore I need to get theta. So tan theta will be equal to BS over BP. And tan theta is equal to BS is X, but X is 5.775 over 20. So this I'll end up getting 0.28875. Then theta will be tan inverse of 0.28875, and I will end up getting 16.1060719. But the question is asking to correct to 1 decimal place, so this will be 16.1 degrees. Next, question 13. Given that A, matrix A is 2, 6, 2U5, B is 7 minus 3 minus U5, and BA is 2V, 16W, determine the values of U, V, and W. So, BA, been given BA, that is, for us to get BA, simply B times A, we get BA. And in our case here, B is 7 minus 3 minus U, 5, multiplied by the matrix A, 2, 6, 2U, 5. It will give us BA, and BA is 2, V16W. So in this situation, we multiply the matrix. For I to get 2, we multiply the first row times the first column. So this will be 7 times 2, which is 14, plus minus 3 times 2u, which is minus 6u. Then to get v, multiply the first row and the second column. Means 7 times 6, 42. Then minus 3 times 5, that will be minus 15. Then to get 16 is the second row times first column. So minus u times 2, that is minus 2u, plus 5 times 2u, that will be plus 10u. Then to get w, it is the second row times second column. So minus u times 6, that is minus 6u, then plus 25, 5 times 5. So let me just simplify it. This will be 14 minus 6u, 42 minus 15, that is 27, then minus 2u plus 10u, that is 8u, and the other one is minus 6u plus 25 will be equal to 2v16w. So we compare the corresponding elements. To get u, I have here 8u and 16, they correspond to each other. 8u is equal to 16. Therefore, u is equal to 16 over 8, which is 2. Then v is 27, corresponds to v, so is 27. And then the other one will be minus 6u plus 25 will be equal to w, but u is 2. Therefore we have minus 12 plus 25 is equal to w. Therefore w is 13. Therefore u is 2, v is 27, and w is 13. Question 14. The capacities of two similar containers are 54 milliliter and 250 milliliter respectively. The difference in the height of the two containers is 4 centimeter. Calculate the height of the larger container. So in this situation, you have been given two containers, and that is the volumes. But because we need the height of the larger container, we need to apply similarities, and that is the volume scale factor and also linear scale factor. So in this situation, we can get the volume scale factor, and the volume scale factor shall take the volume of larger container, we divide by volume of smaller container, and volume of the larger container is 250 ml divided by the volume of the other smaller container, which is 54. This is the same as divided by 2. We get this is the same as 125 over 27. We need to get linear scale factor in order to get the height. So linear scale factor will be the cube root of the volume scale factor. And in our case, volume scale factor is 125 over 7. This is the same as cube root of 125 is the same as 5 cubed, and 27 is the same as 3 cubed. Therefore, cube root of 5 raised to 3, that is 5, and the other one is 3. So that is the linear scale factor. And since we don't know the height of the smaller, so the difference of the height of the two container is 4 centimeter. So let the height of smaller container be x. Be x centimeter. Then height of larger container will be x plus 4. Therefore, we can easily be able now to get the value of x, linear scale factor. So this is the same as linear scale factor 5/3 is the same as height of the bigger container over height of the smaller container. Cross multiply, get 5x is equal to 3 times x, that is 3x, plus 3 times 4, that is 12. Therefore 5x minus 3x is equal to 12, and 2x is equal to 12. Therefore x is equal to 6 centimeter. The question is asking the height of the larger container. Therefore, larger container, the height is x plus 4, which will be x is 6 plus 4. Therefore, we get 10 centimeter. So that is the height of the larger container. Question 15. The table below shows the minimum in a mathematics test of two classes. With the class X and Y, the number of students in X is 43, in Y it is 45. Minimum for class X is 65, and minimum for class Y is 62. So calculate correct to 2 decimal places the minimum of the classes. So remember, to get mean is the total marks. We divide by total number of students. Therefore, to get the mark for class X, it will be the number of students times 65. That will be the total marks. So 43 times 65 to get the total marks for class X, and also the total marks for class Y, it is the number of students 45 times the minimum. Then divide by total number of students, that is 43 plus 45. So here I'll end up getting 43 times 65, that is 2795, and 45 times 62, that is plus 2790. Total number of students is 88. So this is the same as 5585 divided by 88. So we get 63.47. Correctly to 2 decimal places. So question 16. The base A, B, C, D, E, F of a right pyramid is a regular hexagon of side 2.5 centimeter. Point V is the vertex of the pyramid and the length of the slanting edge is 4 centimeter. Draw a labeled net of the pyramid. So before even we draw the net of the pyramid, we need to just make a sketch of the pyramid. And remember, hexagonal, regular hexagon means 6 faces. So I'll just draw it. We have AB, it is 2.5 centimeter. So AB, C, D, E, F. So that is it. Then we've been given it has slant, the slant length or the slant edge is 4 centimeter. So these are meeting at this particular point. Yeah. So this edge is 4 centimeter. The slant edges, they are 4 centimeter. So from there now we can be able to draw the net of the pyramid. Now we start by drawing side AB, locate A, and then we locate point B. And remember that at this particular point, angle ABC, that is the interior, is 120, exterior is 60, that is 360 degrees divided by 6 side, we get 60. So we construct an angle of 60 degrees at B, which will be external. So then we locate point C. So we shall do the same process for all the sides, 6 sides, ensuring that each side is 2.5. Then at the end we draw the slant height. So we proceed on, and then we should be able to locate point D. Then we construct again another angle of 60 degrees, which will be exterior, and then we join the point DE. Then again from that particular point we construct another angle of 60 degrees, and finally we locate it to point F, which will be the final point. So that is C, D, E and F. Then from there, now we draw the slant edges, which is 4 centimeter. We start from A, we make an arc for all the sides, each vertex or each point locating to the, draw an arc at the vertex. So we do for all the sides, and then we join the ABC to the required vertex. Fine. Now we join all the points to the vertex in that manner, and then we have obtained the net of the pyramid. So those are the vertex, and the slant edge is 4 centimeter, and the side is, for the hexagonal face, is 2.5. So welcome to section 2 of mathematics paper 1, and answer only 5 questions in this section in the spaces provided. But for the purpose of this video, of this tutorial, I will answer all the 8 questions. So we begin with question 17. A contractor hired Wema and Tatu to transport 144 tons of tons to building site A and B. To transport 48 tons of stone for a distance of 48 kilometers, the contractor paid 24,000 shillings. Part A. Wema transported 96 tons of stones to site A, a distance of 49 kilometers. Calculate the amount of money that was paid to Wema. So in our case here we have site, then the other thing quantity we have tons, and then the distance covered and the payment or the wages. So the first one we have the site, then we have the distance, then we have the tons, then distance, and then the wages. So here to transport 48 tons for a distance of 28 kilometers, so the contractor paid 24,000 shillings. So for Wema transported 96 tons to site A. So for Wema transported to site A, and that was 96 tons, and he covered a distance of 49 kilometers. So what was the amount that he was paid? So if you look very well, tons increases from 48 to 96, and that means tons increases in the ratio 96 is to 48. Therefore, what about the wage? Automatically it will also increase in the same ratio. So this is what we shall use in our final calculation. Then distance also has increased from 28 to 49, and then we also expect the wages to increase in the same ratio. So that's what we shall use in our final calculation. That's what we shall use in our final calculation. From there, amount paid will be 96 over 48 times 49 over 28 times 24, and that will be what? That is actually 96 over 48 times 49 over 28 times 24,000. If we use a calculator, we shall end up getting 84,000 shillings, and that is what was paid. Then we get to Roman 2 of the question. For every 8 tons of stones Wema transported to site A, he spent 3,000 shillings. Calculate the profit Wema made. So in our case, expenses will be equal to the number of trips times amount per trip. So expenses number of trips times amount per trip. But initially it transported 96 tons. And for every 8 tons it transported to site A, so that means one trip we had to transport 8 tons. 96 will have 96 over 8 to get the number of trips multiplied by 3,000, which was the amount per trip. Therefore, using calculator we shall get 36,000 shillings. Then the profit that Wema made will be amount of money paid minus the expenses. Profit will be amount of money paid minus expenses. And the amount of money paid initially, we saw it was 84,000 and the expenses is 36. So we subtract 84,000 minus 36. We shall end up getting 48,000. So that was the profit that Wema had made. Then we get to part B of question 17. So Tatu transported the remaining 48 tons of stone to site B, a distance of 84 kilometers. If Tatu made 44% profit, calculate the amount of money Tatu spent to transport the stones. So again here, just to make it clear, we have the site, then tons, and then distance covered, and also the wages. Initially we saw that 48 tons transported for 28 kilometers, 24,000 shillings is paid. And for our case, it is Tatu now transported to site B, and it transported the remaining 48 tons and it covered a distance of 84 kilometer. So in our case, tons remain constant, so it has not changed, so it is in the ratio 48:48. If that is the case, if the number of tons transported remain constant, also we expect that the wage will remain constant. Still, it will remain under the same ratio 48:48. Then distance has increased from 28 to 84, and if distance has increased from 84 to 28, then the amount has to increase in the same ratio. Amount paid will increase in the same ratio. So amount paid will be equal to 48/48 times 84/28 times 24,000. And in this case, we shall end up getting 72,000 shillings. That's what Tatu was paid. And we are being told if Tatu made, out of this amount of money he was paid, he actually made 44% profit. So for us to get the expenses, now you had expend, it will be 100 minus 44/100 times the total amount he was paid, and in that case we shall get 40,320. Then part C of the question, determine the ratio of the profit made by Wema to that made by Tatu. So the profit made by Wema was 48,000 as we have calculated earlier, and also profit made by Tatu will be 44/100 times 72,000, which is actually that 1,680. Then we compare the ratio of Wema to that of Tatu. So Wema to Tatu will be equal to 48,000 is to 31,680. If you work out this, we shall get the ratio is 50:33. So that is the ratio in which the two actually made the profit. Then we move to question 18. A shot put is spherical and has a mass of 7.26 kilogram. It is made of a metal with a density of 6.93 gram per centimeter cube. Take pi is equal to 22/7. Determine the radius of the shot put correct to 1 decimal place. So we have been given the mass of the spherical ball and also its density, so we can be able to get the volume of the shot put, which is mass over density. So volume of shot put, mass over density, which is mass in grams, 7.26 times 1000 over 6.93 will be equal to 1047.62 centimeter cube, or we can still work it the way it is. Therefore, volume of the shot put, which is spherical in shape, actually, we use a formula which is the same as 4/3 pi r cube. Remember, we know mass over density, so we can equate the two and then we get the value of r. So this will be 4/3 times 22/7 times r cubed will be equal to 7.6 times 1000 over 6.93. Therefore, we make r the subject, so we shall have r raised to 3 will be equal to 7.26 times 1000 over 6.93 times 3/4 times 7 over 22. Using your calculator, you should get r raised to 3 will be equal to 250. Then we find the cube root of 250. We find the cube root, we shall end up getting r will be 6.299605249 centimeter. So, but the question required 1 decimal places. So, to 1 decimal place it will be 6.3 centimeter. So that's part A of question 18. Then part B. A bucket is in the shape of a frustum of a cone. The base radius of the bucket is 7 centimeter. The bucket contains water to a height of 15 centimeter. The radius of the surface of water is 10.5 centimeter. So find the volume of the water in the bucket. So the first thing, we just draw the bucket. So that is it. And its radius, we have the bottom radius, top radius. And for our case, the bottom radius is actually 7 centimeter. Then the top radius, it is actually 10.5 centimeter. Then its height is 15 centimeter. So we can extend this part to get the volume or the part of the cone which was removed when making the bucket. So from here we extend this part and also this part, so that now we have a conical shape. And its height is h, small h. So remember similarity and enlargement. So we compare the ratio of bigger cone over smaller cone will be equal to the ratio of the height of the bigger cone over the height of the smaller cone. So this will be capital R over small r will be equal to capital H over small h, whereby r is the radius of the bigger cone, small r is the radius of the smaller cone, capital H radius of the bigger cone, which is 15 plus h, and then h height of the smaller cone. So this will be 10.5 over 7 will be equal to 15 plus h over h. So cross multiply, we get 10.5h will be equal to 7 times 15 plus h, close the bracket. So this will be the same as 10.5h will be equal to 7 times 15 is 105, then 7 times h is plus 7h. So this will end up getting 7h, 10.5h minus 7h will be equal to 105. Subtract this, we shall get h will be 30 centimeter. So 30 centimeter. So height of the bigger cone will be 30 plus 15, which is 45 centimeter. Now, to get the volume of the water, actually volume of a cone is given by a third pi r squared h capital minus, that is the volume of the bigger cone minus the volume of the smaller cone. So this we can simplify it, and this will be a third pi. A third pi is common, so we put it outside. Then we have r squared h minus r squared h. So that is it. That now is the volume of the frustum. Then still that is a third times 22 over 7. Bracket capital R is 10.5 square times capital, which is 30 plus 15, which is 45, minus small r is 7 we square it times 30. Alright, now we can move on. So simplify this, we get 22 over 21 multiplied by 10.5 squared times 45 is 4961.25 minus 7 squared times that is 1470. Then we subtract it, we shall get 22 over 21 times, this will be 3,491.25. So using calculator we end up getting that is 3,657.5 centimeter cube. So that is the volume of the bucket, which is frustum in shape. So we move on to Roman 2 of part B. So the shot put ball is completely submerged in the water in the bucket. Calculate the new height of the water in the bucket. So in our case here, so this is the ball which was submerged in water. So we expect the water to increase to some level. Maybe it has increased by h. Now, we expect the new volume will be the volume of the bucket, water in the bucket, plus volume of the shot put. And that will be what? 3,657.5 plus 1,047.62 centimeter cube. So we shall get 4,705.12 centimeter cube. Then let the height to have increased by x. Let the height to have increased by x. So let us use x. So this will be, if we let the height to have increased by x, then the linear scale factor will be new height over old height. Linear scale factor will be the new height over old height. And in that case, the new height will be 45 plus x over 45. And that is for the cone. We are actually talking about the cone, because at the end of it all, we need to get x. So, volume scale factor will be linear scale factor cubed. And in that case, it will be 4705.12 all over 3657.5 will be equal to 45 plus x over 45, we cube it. So remember, this is the volume and volume scale factor will be equal to the linear scale factor cubed. So we work it out, we get 1.2864 will be equal to 45 plus x over 45 raised to 3. So this will still be the same, 1.2864 equal to 45 plus x plus over 45 raised to 3. So we find the cube root on both sides. If we find the cube root on both sides, we shall get cube root of 1.2864 will be equal to 45 plus x over 45. Then from there, we get this will be 1.08757 will be equal to 45 plus x over 45. Multiply both sides by 45, we shall get 48.94 will be equal to 45 plus x. So subtract 45 on both sides, so we shall get 48.94 minus 45, which will be equal to 3.94 centimeter. So that is the value of x. So to get the new height, we add. Now we add, here it is 15, now plus 3.94. So the new height will be 15 plus 3.94. We get 18.94 centimeter. We move on. Question 19. A triangle ABC is right-angled at point A. The vertices of the triangle are A is 1 minus 2, B is 5, 4, and C is MN. The equation of line BC is 5y minus x is equal to 15. Part A, determine the equation of line AC in form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are integers. And then Roman 2, we determine the coordinates of point C. And then part B, a line passes through point A and is parallel to line BC. Determine the x-intercept of the line. So we start with the part A of the question. We determine the equation of line AC in the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are integers. So the first thing we need to do is to draw a sketch of the triangle, and in this case we begin by drawing an horizontal line and label it A, which is 1 minus 2, and then B, which is actually 5, 4. And being told it is right angled at point A. So from there we draw the vertical line to point C, which is MN. Then we join BC. And BC, the equation of BC is 5y minus x is equal to 15. So gradient of AB will be what? It is a change in y over change in x-axis. And change in y will be 4 minus 2. And x is 5 minus 1. So this shall end up getting 6 over 4, which is the same as 3 over 2. Then line AC is perpendicular to line AB. And remember, the product of perpendicular line is normally the gradient. Product of the gradient of perpendicular lines to each other is normally minus 1. Therefore, line AC perpendicular to AB, so 3 over 2 times M2, that is the gradient of AC, will give us minus 1. So to get gradient AC, it will actually be M2 will be minus 1 times 2 over 3, which we get as minus 2 over 3. Then gradient of AC, now let us use, because we need to find M and N, then we already have the gradient, but the gradient will be given by change in y over change in x. So that will be n minus 2 over m minus 1. Get it? So this will be n plus 2 over m minus 1. but the gradient of AC is equal to minus 2 over 3, so we equate this to minus 2 over 3. That will be n plus 2 over m minus 1 will be equal to minus 2 over 3. Cross multiply, we have 3 multiplied by n plus 2 will be equal to minus 2 multiplied by m minus 1. Open the bracket or expand, we get 3n plus 6 will be equal to minus 2m plus 2. Minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2. So rearrange it. We have 2m plus 3n will be equal to 6 minus 2, which is 4, will be equal to 0. And we need to write the equation in this form. So we just replace m is the x coordinate, n is the y coordinate. So I replace m with x, n with y. I shall get 2x plus 3y plus 4 is equal to 0. And that is the equation of line AC. We move on. Then part Roman 2 of part A, the coordinate of point C. So in this case, I want you to consider line ABC and BC. AC and BC, C is common. It's a common point. So if you get we form two equations, we solve for the unknown value, then we shall get it. But here, AC, this is the equation of line AC. We solve the simultaneous equation for x and y values, which will be the coordinate of point C. And in this equation, so can be written as 3y plus 2x is equal minus 4. So 5y minus x is equals 15. That is the first equation. And then the other equation, second equation, is 3y plus 2x is equal to minus 4. So equation 1, from equation 1, x is the same as 5y minus 15. And therefore, we need to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. We shall get 3y plus 2 into bracket where we have x, we substitute with 5y minus 15. Close the bracket will be equal to minus 4. Therefore, this will be 3y plus 10, y minus 30 will be equal to minus 4. So we add the like terms. So we have that 13y, that will be 3y plus 10y will be equal to minus 4 plus 30. So which will be 13y is equals to 26. Therefore, y will be equal to 2. The same case now we have y, we can substitute the value of y into equation 3. And here we shall have x is equals to 5 times 2 minus 15, which we end up getting x will be minus 5. Therefore, C, the coordinate of CMN, which is equivalent or xy, but x is minus 5, y is 2. So those is the coordinate, that is the coordinate of point C. Part B, a line passes through point A and is parallel to line BC. Determine the x-intercept of the line. So in our case here, the gradient of line passing through point A is actually equal to the gradient of line BC if they are parallel. Gradient of parallel lines are equal. So, for our case, we have that as the line which is parallel to BC, and then we have the point here which is a letter point B, PXY, be on line with E. So we can easily now be able to get first the gradient of line BC. We write this equation in the form of y is equals to mx plus a constant. Y is equals to, it will be a fifth of x plus 3. So its gradient is equivalent to 1 over 5 mx. M is normally the gradient, so this is the gradient of BC. Therefore also line passing through A and parallel to BC, we have a gradient of 1 over 5. So we get its gradient, so change in y over change in x, y minus 2 all over x minus 1, y minus 2 all over x minus 1 will be equal to 1 over 5, which is a gradient. We simplify, get y plus 2 over x minus 1 will be equal to 1 over 5. This implies that cross multiply, get 5y plus 10 will be equal to x minus 1, which will be x minus 5y will be equal to 11. So this is the equation of line passing through A. But at x-intercept, y is normally 0. At x-intercept, vertical the x-axis, y is normally 0. Therefore, in this equation, we substitute the value of y is equals to 0 to get the value of x. So 5 times 0 is 0, so x will be equal to 11. And that is the x-intercept. So in the figure below, line AB is equal to 10 centimeter and is part of trapezium ABCD. Point X is such that angle BAX is 45 degrees, and then using a ruler, so this angle is 45 degrees. So using a ruler and a pair of compasses only, we need to locate a point D on line AX such that AD to DX is 3:1, and also we complete the trapezium AB CD such that DC is parallel to AB and angle ABC is 67.5 degrees. And also we need to calculate the area of the trapezium ABCD. So in this case, this is the ratio in which AD divide AX, that is 3:1. So AD will be 5.6 from the ratio given. Then something else we need also to do, we need to get angle, when given angle ABC, that is 67.5 degrees, 67.5 degrees. Therefore, at this particular point, we need actually to construct an angle of 67.5 degrees, that is angle ABC. But before that, we draw a perpendicular, a 90 degrees angle at B. So let us construct it at B and 90 degrees. Then we draw the perpendicular line at B. Then we need to bisect this angle AB. This 90 degrees we bisect into 2, and that will be 45 degrees. So we put an arc on the perpendicular line and also an arc on AB. Therefore, we use the point, this point and this as the center of the radius of the arc, and then we construct another arc at this point. Then using a ruler, we join B and the intersection of the axis. Then from there, for us to get 67.5, we have divided this angle, bisect into 2, 45, 45. Again, we need to bisect this angle 45, so that we get 22.5. 22.5 plus 45, that will be 67.5. And therefore, this line we shall draw there will be an angle of 67.5 degrees. So that will be an angle of 67.5 degrees. Therefore, we needed to draw from D. We draw a line parallel to AB. So, line parallel to AB. So, at this particular point, we draw that line, which will be DC. So, this angle here, ABC, is 67.5. So, this is point C. Therefore, DC and AB are parallel to each other. And something else we need, we drop a perpendicular from D to meet AB at point E. At point E, so we put an arc there and also an arc at the other part. Then we use it as the radius, and then we draw another arc. Once we draw the other arc, now we can join the intersection of the axis and point D, so that we drop the perpendicular from D to AB at E. So using a ruler, we draw that perpendicular line. So that will be point E. Point E. So DE, that's the perpendicular height of that trapezium ABCD. So DE, that will be 4 centimeter, 4.0 centimeter. So that is 4.0. centimeter. So just enlarging it, you can be able to see that it is 4.0. That is DE. Then we look and we measure length CD, since it will help us in the calculation of area. So DC or CD, that will be 4.4 centimeter. So CD is 4.4 centimeter. Then we need to find the area of the trapezium ABCD, and area of trapezium is given by a half perpendicular height times sum of the two parallel sides. So half times DE, then into bracket we have AB plus CD or DC. So this we get a half times DE is 4.0 centimeter, then times 10 plus 4.4 centimeter. So we end up getting a half of 4, that is 2 times 14.4 centimeter, which we end up getting as 28.8 centimeter squared, and that is the area of the trapezium. So that's how you are supposed to have done the question. So thank you so much, and let us continue.
Question 21.
With the next
The amount
question.
of money in Kenya shillings spent on airtime by a group of 30 people in a period of 1 hour was recorded as shown below. So these are the amount of money in shillings which was spent by 30 people. So we need to complete the frequency distribution table below. Since this is a raw data, we need actually to group them, and in that case we need to make a row for tally. And if we have to make a row for tally such that when we strike a figure, we put the stroke here so that it makes our work here easier and you don't get confused. So we start with the 27, so belongs to this point here. Then we have 42 belongs here. 35 belongs here. 31 belongs here. 33 belongs here. 20 belongs here. 34 belongs here. 46 belongs here. 37 belongs here. 44 belongs here. 21 belongs here. 55 belongs here. 32 belongs here. 27 belongs here. 25 belongs here. 24 belongs here. 26 belongs here. 21 belongs here. 29 belongs here. 31 belongs here. 22 belongs here. 30 belongs here. 38 belongs here. 32 belongs here. 28 belongs here. 25 belongs here. 39 belongs here. 34 belongs here. 46 belongs here. Finally 30 belongs in this class. Therefore here we to fill the frequency part, so we count this is 5, this is 5 plus 2, 7, 5 plus 4, 9, 5 plus 1, 6, and this is 3. Just to draw the histogram, this is very important. Initially we have the class amount of money, we have the frequency, so we need to have a class boundary, class width, and frequency density. Class width we get by subtracting upper class boundary minus lower class boundary, and then frequency density we get by frequency divided by class width. The reason is simply because the first thing you have to check whether the class width is uniform or unequal. If class width is uniform, we plot frequency against class boundaries. If not uniform, we plot frequency density against class boundary. So we need now, we can see from here, let us see class boundary. This 19.5 to 24.5 all the way. So that's how we get the class boundary, lower and upper for all the classes. Then class width, we subtract this 24 minus 19.5. So that's what we shall end up getting. So we can see that the class width is not uniform. Therefore, we have to go for frequency density. At the end of it all, we need to plot frequency density against class boundary. So from here, frequency density is frequency divided by class width. 5 divided by 5, we get to this. 7 divided by 5, 1.4, and the rest so on. Having that now, what we require is this class boundary and frequency density. Those two columns are very important for us. Now that's what we have, and we shall begin to plot. So we have the frequency density is on the y-axis, class boundary, and majorly that is upper class boundary will be on the horizontal axis. So we start from the first thing we need to check. The highest value for the frequency density is 1.8, and if we look at our scale here, is it workable? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But I can be able to choose a scale of maybe one big square to represent 0.2. That will be fine. So 0.0, 0.2, 0.4, 0.5, 0.8, 1.0, then 1.2, then 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, and at least 2.0. That's fine. Choose a scale that will accommodate all the values. Should not be too small or too large. Then horizontal axis. The upper class boundary for the previous class was 19.5. So I'll begin from actually the beginning. I'll not break the axis. So I have 19.5. Then interval of 5, 5, then 24.5. Then this will be 29.5 plus 5, 34.5 plus 5, 39.5 plus 5, 44.5 plus 5 again, 49.5 plus 5, 54.5, then 59.5. And this is the upper class boundaries. So we begin with the first one. Frequency density is 1. The boundary is from 19.5 to 24, and frequency density has reached up to 1. So that is the first part. Then the other one from 24.5 to 29.5, frequency density is 1.4. 24.5 to 29.5, frequency density 1.4, up to that point. Fine. Then the other one, 29.5 to that 4.5, frequency density is 1.8. So up to there. Then the other one, 34.5 to 44.5, frequency density 0.6 up to this level. Fine. Lastly, 44.5 to 59.9, frequency density was 0.2. So that is it. Part C of the question. Use the histogram to determine the median amount of money spent on airtime by the 30 people. So in our case here, this is our histogram, so median amount of money. So instruction is to use the histogram. You can still use the formula, but instruction is to use the histogram, or otherwise use a graph to determine the median amount. Remember there were 30 people, so the median number of people will be a half. That will be 30 over 2. So that will be the median position, 15 people. So we need to get the area under histogram will be equal to number of people. The area under histogram will be equal to number of people, and we need 15. So we have the first rectangle, second, and the third. And majorly the third one is where we really do expect, even by counting also the number of people. So we have area under the histogram will be equal to number of people, and that is 15, half of them. So the first rectangle plus second rectangle plus part of the third rectangle. So remember the first one, it was 5 times 1.0 plus 5 times 1.4 plus, we say that the third part of it, that rectangle to have 1.8x. Actually x now will be the number of people. Remember the first class has 5, then the other one 5. Now this we have to get part of it, and whereby frequency density is 1.8, then times x, the number of people, will be equal to 15. So here we have 5 plus 7 plus 1.8 will be equal to 15. Therefore 1.8x will be 15 minus 12. So 1.8, the median class will be 29.5. So that is it. X is 1.667. So we end up getting 29.5 plus 166.7. Some will ask where 29.5 is coming from. That is the beginning of the third class, 29.5, and the median in position lies there. So we have 29.5 plus 1.667, which is the value of x, will be equal to median class will be now 31 shillings 15 cents. Part C, Roman 2. The median amount of money spent. For this case, I am going to use the formula. And you'll be able to see from previous whether we are getting the same thing. So we know that this is a histogram, and median position is n over 2, whereby we get 30 over 2, which is 15th position. So 15th position lies where? Let us look at the cumulative frequency. We have 5, the other one is 12. So 15 is part of 21. So this is our median class. So that is a median class. So we are going to use the median formula, and median formula is given by lower class boundary, all over nth over 2 position minus frequency, cumulative frequency preceding the median class, over frequency of the median class times class interval. So lower class boundary is actually, here it is 29.5, then cumulative frequency preceding the median class is 12, and then frequency of the median class is 9, and n over 2 is 15. So that will be, median will be 29.5 plus 15 minus 12 over 9 times 5. So this we shall get 29.5 plus 3 over 9 times 5, which will be the same as 29.5 plus 1.667. We end up getting 31 shillings 17 cents. Similarly, but the question was asking to use histogram without using this formula. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I've just explained it. We move to part C, Roman 2. You use the histogram to determine the number of people who spend more than 41 shillings and 50 cents on airtime over that period. So this is the histogram that you had plotted. Now, those who had spent 41 shillings 50 cents over a period of time. So in our case here, so we can be able to see at this particular point, that's where 41 shillings 50 cents is actually. So let us now, so from the table we had 41 shillings 50 cents is actually under this class here. So we need to subtract 44.5 minus 41.5. We get the extra amount that was used. Then we multiply by the frequency density, and then the last one was 3. We had 3 people. Those are the people who actually spend more than 41 shillings 50 cents. So this will be 44.5 minus 41.5. Then we multiply by its frequency density, then plus 3 people. So this will be 3 times 0.6 plus 3. We get 1.8 plus 3, which is 4.8. But we cannot have 4.8 people, so we approximately to our whole number, and this will be 5. So 5 people spend more than 41 shillings and 50 cents. So question number 22, the diagram below is a sketch of two curves, y is equal to 2x squared plus 1 and y is equal to x squared plus 1, drawn on the same grid. It's the same grid. So we have y is equal to x squared plus 1 and y is equal to x squared plus 1. Then give the x-axis up to 5. Then part A of the question, using a trapezium rule with 5 strips, estimate the area bounded by the curves. Y is equal to 2x squared plus 1, the y is equal to x squared plus 1, and the lines x is equal to 0 all the way to x is equal to 5. So we need the area bounded by the two curves. So in this case, what we shall get is, now we have to make sure that we know, since we are using trapezium rule with the 5 strips, so we are actually going to try to subdivide them and then we work it out. So in our case, we subdivide them into 5 strips. So from here we have, that is one strip, then the other one, and we have the other part, the other strip is part, and this one. So this is the area that we actually need. So from here we shall have y1, so y1 all the way since here to 0, so y0 all the way. So we have y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, and then y6. The formula for finding area using trapezium rule is given by a half of height times y1 plus y6, so y1 plus y6, then plus, now the sum of the other heights we multiply by 2. Therefore, but h, since you have 5 strips, so one strip has a height of 1. So from here to here, that is 1. So they are equal on number of width, that is the height, which is 1. Therefore, this is the formula we are going to use, and for that we need now to make a table from value of x. Then we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since from here x starts from 0 all the way to 5, then we substitute the value of y. So this is what we have. Since we need this area, we have to get the value of this and also the value of the other one. We shall be able to subtract. So for this case, is when x is 0, we substitute into this, we get 1. When x is 1, we get y1 is 3. When x is 2, substitute into this equation,
we shall get y as 9 when x is 3, so we get y as 19, and so on. Then we have y2, we take this as y2, then we do the subtraction also, so we substitute when x is 0, so y2 is 1, so when x is 1, this will be 2, so when x is 2, this will be 5, when x is 3, we have 10, when x is 4, that will be 17, and lastly when x is 5, that will be 26. Then from there, for us to get now y, so it will be y1 minus y2. So we subtract here this value, we get 0, subtract 3 minus 2, we have 1, 9 minus 5, we have 4, 19 minus 10, that is 9, 33 minus 17, we get 16, and 51 minus 26, we get 25. So that is the value of y. Then from there now, since we have y at different values of x, then we substitute into the formula, and we shall get that will be half times h is 1, then 0 plus 25, then plus 2, and the sum of the other widths. So we shall end up getting, that is a half times, this will be 25 multiplied by plus 2 times 30, so area will be a half of 185, which is actually 42.5 square units, and that is the area bounded by the two curves, and also x is 0 and x is 5, so that is the area. Then we look at part B of the question. So part B of the question is using the mid-ordinate rule with 5 strips, estimate the area bounded by the curve y is equals to x squared plus 1 and y is equal to x squared plus 1, and the lines x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5. Now we are using mid-ordinate rule with 5 strips, and this is very, very important. So still we need to find this area using the mid-ordinate rule. Now for us to do with mid-ordinate rule, so it has already 5 strips, there are already 5 strips. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 strips, but we are looking at the mid-ordinate, at the first ordinate. So x is what? X is 0.5. So the second mid-ordinate 1.5, the other one is 2.5, then the other one is 3.5, the other one is 4.5. That's very important. Now, since that is the case, so what we need to get now is also the formula, since we already have the values of x at each different value. Now, so we shall have, so we have now x 0.5, we have 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 and 4.5. So those are the median. Then we find the value of y1, which is 2x squared plus 1 at different values of x. So we end up getting 1.5, 5.5, 13.5, 25.5 and 41.5. The same case applies to the other one, which will give us these values. So this is the area we need to find using the mid-ordinate rule. Then from there we subtract y1 and y2. We end up getting these values. So this is what we shall use now in area of the bounded by the two curves using mid-ordinate rule. And in our case we have y1 all the way to y5. So this will be y1, then y2, so this will be y3, the other one will be y4, and lastly y5. So the area is equal to height, and height, this is actually the width of the strip, and that is the case, it is 1. So from here we actually substitute, and then area will be equal to 1 into bracket, we add all the mid-ordinates, and therefore we get that will be 1 times 41.25. So this will be the same as 41.25 square units, and that is the area of the bounded by the two curves using the mid-ordinate rule with 5 strips. A supermarket sold 530 packets of milk daily when the price was 50 Kenyan shillings per packet. Whenever the price per packet was increased by 4 shillings, the number of packets sold daily decreased by 20. So if n represents the number of times the price was increased, part of the equation, we write an expression in terms of n. For the price of a packet of milk after the price was increased. So in our case here, we are required to find the price of the packet after the price was increased. So before the price was increased, it was 50 shillings per packet, but now it has been increased by 4 shillings. So we don't know the number of times that the price was increased, but we have been given as n to represent n. So every time the price is increased by 4, then the number of packets actually decreased by 20. So if n is the number of times it was taken, so it will be the initial price plus 4n. So this will be the price after the packet has been increased. So price has been increased. Then Roman 2, the number of packets of milk sold after the price was increased. We are also being given the value that the initial sales was 530 packets per day, but the moment the price was increased by 4, then the number of packets sold daily was decreased by 20, but you have been given n times is the number of price increment. Therefore, we shall have the new number of packets will be then minus, since there is a decrease, so we have minus 20n. N is the number of times the price was increased. So 20n, those are the number of packets that are reduced to get a new number. Then from there we have Roman 3, then total sales in simplified expanded form after the price of a packet of milk was increased. So in our case, the total sales, let me use S to represent the total sales. Therefore, it will be the price, new price multiplied by the number of packets sold after the new price. And here we have, so new price is 50 plus 4n, and then we multiply by the number of packets sold after the new price, which is 530 minus 20n. So we need to give it in a simplified expanded form. Therefore, we shall have, so 50 multiplied by what is in the second bracket, that is 530 minus 20n, then plus 4n multiplied by 530 minus 20n. So if we multiply 50 times 530, we get 26,500. Again, multiply 50 times 20n, that will be minus 1,000, and then 4n times 530, that will be plus 2,120n, and finally 4n times minus 20n, that will be minus 80n squared. So we need to simplify it. So S will be, so minus 80n squared, just rearranging, minus 1000n plus 2120n will be plus 1120n, then finally plus 26,500. So that is the total sales in simplified expanded form after the price of the packet of milk was increased. Now we move on and we look at part B. So part B of the question, determine the number of times the price was increased. The number of times the price was increased to attain maximum sales. So we have seen that maximum sales is given as 80n squared plus 1120n plus 26,500. To attain maximum sales, then the number of sales or total sales with respect to n must actually give to 0 to attain maximum sales, such that you end up having no packets equivalent to 0. Therefore, in this case, we differentiate total sales with respect to total number of times it was sold. And if we do so, just to remember, if y is equals to x power n, then the derivative, that is dy dx, will be given as nx power n minus 1. We multiply by the power and then we reduce the power by 1. So in our case, we differentiate each term and we shall get this will be minus 160 and 2 minus 1, that is 1. So negative 160 and then plus. So the other one will be, so we multiply. So here the power is 1, so we have 1120, then n power 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, so n power 0 is 1, and the other one is 0. When you differentiate a constant value, you get a 0. Therefore, but ds dn will be 0 for maximum sales. So 0 is equal to negative 160n plus 1120. This will be 160n will be equal to 1120. Therefore, if we work it out, n will be 1120 over 160. So number of times is 7 times the price was increased. Then Roman 2, the price of the packet of milk for maximum sale. For maximum sale, we saw that new price was 50 plus 4n. So we substitute the value of n into this. So 50 plus 4 times 7. So this will be 50 plus 28. We end up getting 78 Kenyan shillings. So that was the new price for a packet of milk. Then the maximum sales. So maximum sales, what is the maximum sales? So that S is equal to negative 80 n squared plus 1120 n plus 26,500. So substitute the value of n. We have minus 80 multiplied by 7 squared plus 1120 multiplied by 7, then plus 26,500. So this will be negative 3920, then plus 1120 times 7, we get 7840, and then plus 26,500. Using your calculator, the total sales will be 30,420, and that is a maximum sale. So that's how you are supposed to have done the question. Triangle ABC and A prime, B prime, C prime are drawn on the grid provided. So part of the question will describe fully a single transformation that marks triangle ABC onto A prime, B prime, C prime. So from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. So in our case here, we need to find a transformation. It can either be, if you look at the two triangles, it's a kind of enlargement. Now we need to determine the center of enlargement, and also we determine the scale factor. That will be very important in this particular question. Therefore, if that is the case, A has been mapped onto A prime, so we shall use a ruler, and then we draw a line joining A and A prime. So you can see it is passing through the origin, that is 0, 0. Also, we can also join A to C prime. Also, we see that it's passing through the origin. The same thing we can do even for a third point, B to B prime is also passing through the origin. So in our case, we can say that center of enlargement is center 0, 0. And then the scale factor, to get the scale factor, will be from the center of enlargement, point O. So we have either O, A prime over OA, or can be the same as OB prime over OB, or OC prime over OC. So we can take either one of them, and in that case we can either decide to deal with the horizontal displacement or vertical displacement or distance, that distance. So for our case, let us get the scale factor OA. So we look at the y displacement from O, it is minus 8 over, then the other one, so that is minus 8, and then A, that is 4. So this will be minus 2. So we can see the scale factor is minus 2. Negative means it is enlarged in the opposite direction or side, and then the center of enlargement is 0.00. So that is the transformation mapping ABC to A prime B prime C prime. Fine. Then we have the other question. So on the grid, same grid, draw triangle A double prime B double prime C double prime, the image of triangle A prime B prime C prime under a rotation of positive 90 degrees about center 0, 0. So positive 90 degrees, that is anti-clockwise direction, is the same as anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, we need, now in this case, we need to understand the following. We need to understand, if you have an object AB and then it is mapped to another point through a rotation of 90 degrees, then this will be the point, that is 90 degrees positive, and then that is the angle of rotation about center OO. So this will be the image. So in our case, it means that A prime, which is in our case it is 2 minus 8, then it is mapped to A double prime. The image will be 8, 2. Then B double prime, B prime, which is 6 minus 6, will be mapped to B double prime through an angle 90 degrees about the origin. So this will be 6, 6. And then C prime, which is 4 minus 2, it will be mapped to C double prime, which will be 2, 4. So that will be the coordinates of the new triangle, and then we can be able to plot. So A double prime, that is 8, 2, 8, 2. That's the point we have. Then B double prime 6, 6, 6, 6. Then we have C double prime 2, 4, 2, 4. So that is C double prime, B double prime, and A double prime. So we can take a ruler and then join. So that is it, and finally, so we are done with this. So we also check on the other one, triangle A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime, the image of triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, and a reflection in the line y is equals minus x. So in our case now we are talking about reflection in y is equals minus x. So in such a case we shall have, so considering having an object AB, that is the coordinate. So if it is mapped and under a reflection in the line y is equals minus x, then the image will be minus b minus a. So the coordinates are interchanged and also the sign are also interchanged. So in our case we have now A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So 8 2, one is 6 6, and we have 2 4. So then they are mapped onto A triple prime, B triple prime, and C triple prime. So this will be minus 2 minus 8, then this will be minus 6 minus 6, and the other one will be minus 4 minus 2. Then you can be able to plot the coordinates point. So A triple prime minus 2 minus 8 minus 2 minus 8. So that is A triple prime. Then we have B triple prime minus 6 minus 6 minus 6 minus 6. So that is B triple prime. Then C triple prime, that is minus 4 minus 2 minus 4 minus 2. So that's the point. Then we join the points. So that is it. That's what we have. Now, and in our case, line y is equals minus x is the line. Y is equal to minus x. Then lastly we have draw the line of symmetry of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and hence determine its equation in the form y is equals mx plus a constant, mx plus a constant. Fine. So from this case we can also be able to get so
this is a triangle, and since this is a triangle, then we need A prime, C prime, we need to get its midpoint, and in our case, midpoint will be this particular point. So I can join, actually when we are talking about line of symmetry, in such a way triangle A prime, B prime, C prime can be divided into two equal parts, and that will pass a line passing through this point, and B prime, that's a perpendicular line from that particular point. So let us draw it and see what we shall get. So that is the line of symmetry. Line of symmetry. Now, in that case, we can choose at least 2 points. So I can have this point here, and also I have another point, maybe this point here. So I have -3, -3. So -3, -3, and another point I've chosen 3, -5, 3, -5. So I can get its equation in the form of y is equals mx plus a constant, and in that case, equation, so let us get gradient, changing y over changing x, that will be the gradient. So this will be -3 minus -5 all over -3 minus 3. We get, this will be -3 plus 5, we get 2 over, this will be -6, therefore minus a third. So I can choose another point xy to be on line, with one of these points, say 3, -5. Therefore, since we know gradient, so it will be change in y minus y over x minus 3 will be equal to minus a third. So in this case, this will be y plus 5 all over x minus 3 will be minus 1 over 3. Cross multiply, therefore we have 3 into y plus 5 will be equal to minus x plus 3. So this will be 3y plus 15 is equal to minus x plus 3. But we need in the form of y is equals mx plus a constant, so that will be 3y is equal to minus x plus 3 minus 15. So this is 3y is equals to minus x minus 12. Therefore y is equal to minus a third x minus 4. So that is it.